Okay, we're here at Carrie Taylor's. She caught this, this was a swarm that happened in her yard, and she was able to get it about the 20th of April. And so we haven't opened it since then, and so we're going to look and see what we need to do as far as management, and also we want to take a mite sample. So just kind of walk through what we're going to find. First of all, my first observation is the hive is very calm. First thing I want to look for is how many seams of bees I have. A seam of bees would be bees that you can see all the way through, such as here and here. So if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So this is a pretty full hive. And once I get above 6 or 7 seams, I'll want to add another box. So my recommendation to Carrie would be to put another box on this one. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start looking to see if we can find if the queen is laying. And so we'll take this really slow. The bees are very calm, so that's a good sign. I usually start from one end, and I usually try to do it with the sun to my back so that I can look very quickly and see whether or not we have, I can see the queen and I can see eggs down inside the cell. Okay, this is the first frame. It looks really good. The bees are starting to draw it out. We can see if you can see down inside the cells, we have some pollen, which is good. And there's a lot of bees on here, which is good coverage. So this is really positive so far. We've moved a couple of frames out. We haven't seen the queen yet. We're still looking for a frame that we want to use for the mite test. This is an excellent frame. We see, you can see down inside the cells, we've got eggs. We've got a good population. The other thing we want to make sure is that we don't have the queen on this frame. So we'll continue to look. And on this side we can see larvae in the bottom. They're being well taken care of. What we want to do is we want to find a frame that has eggs and larvae on. The reason for that is because that's where the nurse bees will be. The nurse bees is where the varroa like to hang out, because then they can jump into the bottom of the cells when they're getting ready to be capped. So this is one that I think we'll take. We'll just check again and make sure we don't have the queen. Okay, I'm going to go over and get ready to shake this one. Okay, I've got the frame of bees. I've got my tote here. I've got the everything that I need. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it down close to the inside the tote, and I'm going to give it a firm shake, not banging it on the bottom, but just a firm shake like this. So I'm going to go through and give it a good shake. The other thing is that because these are nurse bees, they haven't really flown yet, and so when they hit the bottom, they're going to stay in the bottom of the tote. If they're a worker bee that's still out working or foraging, that bee will fly away, and so the bees that are left in the bottom are the ones that we really want. So this is not something you have to do quickly, so you've got some time, and I'll shake this and so you can see what it looks like. Ready? You see immediately, you see a lot of the bees flying. These will be the worker bees. And these will be the bees that are left. These are the nurse bees. So let me put the frame back, and then we'll come back and do the other.
One thing that may be worth noting at this stage is this is one more opportunity to do a quick scan for your queen. Because if you've shaken her into this tote, there's a good chance that you're going to pick her out pretty easily due to differences in movement.
Okay, we're going to do an alcohol wash. So what I want to do is kind of get the bees down into the corner, and I'm going to need a half cup. This will be about 300 bees. Here's my my washer. So kind of shake them down, get that half cup, flip them into there, And then we want to put the cover on as soon as I can. And shake them up a little bit like this, so that'll keep them from flying, so I can add the rest of it. Okay, now we'll get ready. I'll put some more in here, and then we'll wash them. Now we have the bees sampled. I put them into a mite washer. There's different kinds of mite washers, but this is one that I use. It's quite easy. Okay, we're going to shake for 1 minute, and then we'll pour it through a white or a bounty cloth, and we'll see if we have any mites on it. And sometimes you can take it and swish it the other direction when you're halfway through. Okay, there we are, 1 minute. So now what we'll want to do is take the bees out, let the bees kind of drip off. Now we're going to pour this through the cloth, or through the paper towel. And we have, we can see one mite in the sample. The treatment threshold here hasn't been reached, and so by this sample we would say probably don't need to be treated, but it's early in the spring, and I would recommend you do something to start the mites, get them decreased as you go into the summer. This is if you don't want to buy a mite washer. You can, I made this one, and it works really well. You just put a screen in the bottom, and then it goes inside another cup where you would put the wash, and then you shake it. If you're interested in this, Randy Oliver has an excellent website that demonstrates how to make it and how it works. And what you do is you take your bug wash and put it in the bottom of this cup. And then we're going to put the bees inside here. And put my lid on. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shake these for 1 minute. And what we want to see is it's almost like a washing machine. We want to see a lot of movement along the bottom of that screen. And as the bees go around that, they're rolled around, and that'll dislodge the mites. And we'll want to do that for about a minute. I don't know if you can see the bees kind of rolling around at the bottom. Or you have to sing happy birthday twice. Okay. In the day of COVID, we're all learning how to sing happy birthday. So then these come out. We're gonna put the wash through here, through the paper towel, see if we find any mites. And then we'll take a look at the paper towel and see if we have any mites captured. And it looks like it's clean, no mites found. The other thing I do is I take the towel and I can put the mites on it right next to the hive, because I find that some of the bees will actually recover. If you're going to put it on, you want to make sure you put it in the sun so that the bees have a chance to get dry. Just kind of spread them out a bit. Not all of them will recover, but some of them will. And okay, we came back just to look at this hive. I told you that if you put them in an alcohol wash, and we let these sit for quite a while, so I'm really kind of impressed how many of them are moving around again. It's not probably as good as with the sugar shake, but the bees will recover even after a bug wash. Not necessarily from alcohol, but a bug wash, they tend to recover like this. So, and it's really better to keep them in the sun. Okay, now we're going to do a sugar roll, and we still have the bees. Shake them down again. Again, we have our half cup. We take a half cup, we put the bees inside the container and put the lid on. Then we want to add about 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar. It's nice to have it pre-measured. And we want to shake that down inside to the bees so that they're well covered. And what we want to do is we'll just want to roll the bees for a couple of minutes, make sure they're well covered. And so we'll do that, and then we'll come back and finish it up. Okay, we're going to finish the powder roll. What we did first is we put the 2 tablespoons in. We rolled the bees to make sure that they were well covered. And then we let them sit for about 1 minute to 2 minutes. And now we're going to shake to see if we find the mites. The other thing you want to look for is make sure the bees are dry. If they're wet or compromised in some way, the sugar will stick to them and you won't get a good sample. So what you want to do is to put it over a white plate so you can see really well, and we'll start shaking. And this will be a vigorous shake. It's not enough that you hurt the bees, but you'll want to continue to shake. We'll want to do this for 1 minute. And there's an excellent website at the University of Minnesota. So if you want to watch another video or get a handout to see exactly how to do this, then you can go to that website. It'd be under Varroa Test, University of Minnesota. They have a good paper there. So you'll just want to keep shaking. You can hear the bees protesting. We'll want to go for at least 1 minute. There is also an app that you can get that'll give you practice on how hard to shake. It'll give you a message and it'll say shake harder, so you get an idea of what it feels like. Okay, there's 1 minute. So now what we'll want to do is see if we can see any mites. We'll kind of spray it down so we can see. Okay, we sprayed the plate with water, and the mites will show up fairly easily and quickly. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got 6. If we figure we had 300 bees, that's about 2 mites per 100. And at this time of year, this is really important that we control these mites. So whatever you feel comfortable with treating, look at your options and see what they are. But I would really suggest that we do something immediately in this hive. Okay, we finished the sugar roll. We have the bees. We want to put them now back in the hive. And we'll want to release them. You can see that they're really white and covered. And so we'll want to keep them a little bit away from the other bees. So we'll just release them all the way through the hive. This is one of the advantages of the sugar roll, is that the bees are not hurt.